The Opinion with Michael J. already. It's May 17th in the AM. Conservative influencers are already beating the drums, circling the wagons, looking to divide and conquer. Yikes. And who am I talking about? Who comes up on my radar this morning? Mr. Moose on the Loose, Mr. David. I can't believe it. Can you imagine that, eh? Talked about him last night. Here he is again. Now, here it is. 4 hours ago, he put this video out. He's already got 4.7 thousand views, 145,000 subscribers. So, a good portion of the population is just eating this up. Now, is any of this based on truth? There might be a smidgen of truth there. There might be half-baked truths. There might be half-truths. But there's definitely a slant towards divide and conquer. Meanwhile, it's only 19 days since we had an election. Parliament hasn't even convened yet. Hasn't even had a chance to get into the friggin' saddle and get their seat warmed up. So here we go. Here's the headline today from the Moose. Canada's, or Trump's $6 billion UAE deal just nuked Canada's aluminum industry. Talk about fear-mongering right out of the bat. Same again. CBC gobsmacked Carney has no budget. What's interesting about the CBC is they want to defund the CBC, but if the CBC has something that fits within their way of thinking and ideology, they're all for the CBC. They'll use the information, but they'll wait and slag them later, because when something comes up they don't like, gotta slag. Gotta slag? Gotta slag. Where'd that come from? The reality is, it's a matter of looking down upon people that do not reflect your way of thinking, which is not a good way to socialize. So let's get on to the program here.
It's going to be about another $300 billion. So you know what they're doing? They're building a big plant in the U.S.
Just
Building a big plant. Oh,
bad decisions. Welcome back to Moose and Loose. My name's David. Today we've got Dominic LeBlanc coming out saying energy corridors, but electricity, not pipelines. We got some NDP in.
Electricity, not pipelines? Another bullshit friggin' statement. Unbelievable. We'll discuss that. We'll get to that.
Fighting new polling data. We got Donald Trump.
We're not going to go into polling data. I don't understand this conservative polling data. The election's over. Whoops. Wrong button.
And the Qataris making a deal to essentially drop a nuclear bomb on Canada's aluminum industry. Let's jump.
Qataris? I thought it was the UAE. Who was it? UAE, which is the United Arab Emirates, or was it Qatari? They're different. But some people's world is much smaller than others. Let's see what
jump
else.
into this. Starting this one off,
Okay, we're not going into this stuff. So let's move on. Let's move on to the first topic here. Here we go.
$1 billion in aluminum manufacturing in Oklahoma.
From AGA.
Yikes, you notice another trend between X for news, Fox News. Now, Fox News was bought by, what was it, Adelson? Going way back when, what's his name, Tricky Dick. Richard Nixon got turfed for spying on people. When you had a Republican conservative caucus that in Congress that actually did stuff about people that didn't have a high standard of decorum, or the moral compass was compromised, but they stood up back in that time, so Nixon got turfed. Fox News was a result of that, because this guy wanted to be able to change the narrative so that that could not happen again. Here's the deal, though. This is what nobody's telling you. This is what nobody's going to tell you. This UAE plant will not pour any hot metal out of this factory before 2030. And the projected output at that point is only going to be 600,000. But one thing you got to understand is Trump, who wants to play the autocrat, he wants to rule the world, loves autocrats. And that's why UAE, Qatar, you know, you've got the Emirates, you've got the princes. It's all autocrats. He likes dealing with autocrats. He likes people that can friggin' take a Washington Post reporter that's talking bad about him, slice him up into little pieces, and throw him in a suitcase. He likes that stuff. Like, that is really weird. And anybody that supports that, you know, you really got to question where you're going.
Please go ahead. Yeah. So this is UAE technology. Smell processing.
Okay, so that's the deal with that, sir.
Exporting to the world, and the first big project.
Let's move on
is the US.
to the next thing. There's a lot of other stuff here. A lot of other stuff that's just friggin' nonsensical.
Talk of this now. Here's the actual order that got rid of the elbows up counter tariffs, except for the ones on food that are going to wreak havoc in the grocery stores here soon. As grocers run out of supply, they're going to have to rebuy it at the much higher price.
Hey, there's a real solution to the food issue. Just buy Canadian. Support Canadian. If you want to change things, support Canadian. And it starts by doing that. If you look at the food basket, which you pointed out last night in the video you did there, David, yesterday's video, it's really very select in a few things, like orange juice we can't get in Canada, obviously, but most of the other things we can get in Canada. There's the food thing.
The tariffs essentially that are put on Canada for Canadians to pay.
The Canadian government has rightly retaliated and is rightly retaliating with our own tariffs that will have maximum impact in the United States and minimum impact here in Canada.
He said this in the middle of the election. He said this right around the time or after he took off the tariffs.
Things went back and forth because flip-flop Trump. But the other fact is, when you have somebody that's exerting their will upon you to try to take over your country, do you just friggin' roll over and let them do what they want, David? Or do you actually take a stand, object, and say, listen, this is just not appropriate? Like, what do? You just roll over? This trade war was forced upon us. This is a Trumpian thing. We've dealt with the United States for a long, long time. Trump's just changing everything. He's taking a wrecking ball to everybody. It's pay to play, and that's the deal. It goes against all the norms that we created for fair trade around the world. Simple as that. Simple as that. What's the next thing? Move up to the next topic. I just friggin' did this ahead of time because I don't want to waste too much time with this stuff. Let's just get to the points. Okay.
Second store in the city with all the buy Canadian noise right now. Is this really a good idea? People saying yes. I say yes. I love Costco. Costco offers the best value, hands down. Good products, good price. Expensive now, but still better than most other stores. I wonder what the elbows up crew will do. Is it only...
This is about a Costco somewhere in the Midwest. I'm not sure Saskatchewan or Alberta, but a second Costco.
Elbows up when it's convenient, but if it's Costco, they're like, oh, forget about that. We'll put our elbows back down. Costco will offer lower prices to residents. It's a good idea. Exactly. The Liberals got played. They look foolish.
It's not a Liberal decision. This Costco is a local decision. Like, why do you just friggin' paint everything with a friggin' brush? It's Liberal or it's Conservative. I gotta divide. What's wrong with having some unity? Unity? Is that possible? U-N-I-T-Y. Unity. Canada needs to change the way we're doing things, and we need to get together to do it. Not divide and create division, okay? Now let's move on to the next thing. Moving fast. What are we going here? Oh, yeah. The coup de grace. Oh, well, I'm just going to make a short stop here.
Or tax cut without knowing where that fits into the bottom line.
Mm-hmm. And it goes against the entire narrative of carney.
Everybody's got their knickers in a twist. Because, oh no, there's not a budget coming out right away. No friggin' budget. And this guy, Delory, Moose normally doesn't like him. He's a conservative guy. But now, today, he's okay. You know, flip-flop Dave. Dave the Moose. Can you imagine that? A moose doing a flip-flop? Going off the friggin' high board? Doing a double friggin', what do you call those things?
Carney, that he is the man with a plan. That's why he told Canadians, and it's why he won this last election. They believed he had a plan. And in fact, he used it as an attack point. You know, a plan beats no plan.
Ooh.
That's it. I'm glad he said it. A plan beats no plan. He said that so many times.
Oh, meanwhile, you had a fiscal update in December of 2024, and it's May 2025. Just got a new government into place, so let's not panic yet, okay? Don't panic yet. Don't send up flares. Everything's okay. Anything more here?
Now, and a budget in September. You know what I mean? But it doesn't even seem like there's going to be a budget at all. It's
Right.
going to be an economic state. A Fez,
Right.
your favorite thing.
Right. So look, the Liberals have always been trying to figure out how to budgets balance themselves. Just don't have a budget balance. Look at that.
Right.
No, it's absurd. And even going to
Listen, another thing, this is a real fallacy, balancing budgets for a federal government. You're a sovereign nation. You can print money. You don't have to balance budgets. Anytime a balanced budget has been done, creates a recession, depression. It's just a fact of the matter. There's other ways of doing things. You got to wake up, get rid of the past. What worked in the past is not working in the present. And why you keep bringing what didn't work in the past to the present makes no sense whatsoever. Just friggin' ludicrous. And that's the reality. You only live in the present. Past is friggin' gone. If we did everything right in the past, we wouldn't be in the situation we're in the present. So think about it. Makes sense. Let's move on to the next topic. CBC is actually good for something sometimes, eh, Moose? Hey, Mr. Moose? Moose on the loose. I'm Moose. I'm not Moose on the loose. He's Moose on the loose. Okay, where are we going here now?
Well, today we've got Dominic LeBlanc here on this French TV station saying that Carney wants to do energy corridors, which doesn't mean pipelines.
Dans mes conversations avec les premiers ministres, et M. Carney, dans la campagne électorale, a été très clair, un corridor
An energy corridor can bring in electricity.
énergétique,
correct.
ça peut amener les lignes de transmission d'électricité, ça peut amener le gaz naturel.
And it can bring in natural gas. And natural gas does not use transmission lines, David. Natural gas uses pipelines. So to say they're not doing any pipelines is disingenuous to your followers because you're misleading them. All you're doing is just beating the friggin' conservative drum that goes nowhere. Led us to this friggin' catastrophe of a situation over many decades that we're in now. And the Liberals helped as well, let's be honest. It's not exclusive to one party. But natural gas, that's a pipeline, buddy. Like it's right there, in natural gas.
Transmission
Yikes.
lines in natural gas.
Naturel, ça peut amener à la limite des wagons.
It can even bring in rail cars with critical minerals. This guy's starting to sound like Jagmeet Singh doing the east-west
Okay, gotta compare it to something else. Compare, contrast. All these friggin' loops and beliefs you've created that are just friggin' going round and round in that little friggin' brain of yours, creating confusion. You can't see outside the box. You're stuck in the box. Did I just slag him? I just may have. My apologies, sir.
electricity grid.
De minéraux critiques, c'est pas uniquement des pipelines. Les gens ont
Not just pipelines, people tend to reduce it to
tendance à réduire ça à une pipeline de pétrole.
Ouais.
an oil pipeline. We're not talking about oil pipelines.
We're not talking exclusively about oil pipelines. There's many forms of energy. And you got to understand, different forms of energy have different efficiencies also, which you got to understand as well.
On parle pas de pipeline de pétrole quand on parle de corridor énergétique.
When we talk about energy corridors, yeah, they're not building a new pipeline. Like, let's get real. This is not happening. No pipeline.
How do you know? Let's get real. How do you know? You don't know. Then you go back to X for confirmation. All my buddies are all saying there'll be no pipelines, so there's going to be no pipelines. Like, what is this friggin' X stuff? Elon Muscolini trying to get Nazis friggin' elected in Germany has changed the algorithms to help get Trump elected, to try to get the Nazi party AfD in Germany elected and many other places. So there's multiple types of energy. Let's be clear about that moose. Holy mooses. Holy mooses? Yeah, holy mooses. So let's look at something here right now. This was 3 days ago. Here's Mark Carney, right there, right here.
I want to talk about something a bit more conventional when you talk about big projects, and that is around energy. And in particular, when you said during the campaign you want to make Canada an energy superpower, do you mean you want Canada to export more oil and gas?
Well, that is an element of it, but it's not the element of it. So there are multiple elements. When you're...
You hear what he said? That is an element of it, but not every element of it. There's multiple elements for an energy corridor.
A superpower. Let's look at America. America is a superpower. It is a superpower because it has a strong economy. It is a superpower because it has a strong military. Arguably, it is also a superpower because it has soft power, has cultural, the American influence is multiple, and all of those aspects contribute to it. So when I talk about being an energy superpower, I always say in both clean and conventional energies. So
there you go. That has been clarified. Clean and conventional energies. And conventional energies include oil and natural gas. Let's be clear about that. Number one. Number two, he mentioned about U.S. being a superpower because of soft power. Well, Donald Trump is just friggin' blowing that up, so that's not going to last long. It'll be interesting to see where the United States is after his tenure is over. He's going to try to stay in power, of course. But his health's starting to friggin' erode. He's starting to friggin' decline. That's just the reality of things, folks. So there you go. You heard it right there from the guy, the main guy that's leading the Liberal Party. So, Moose, stop that nonsense. Now, here's another thing. Trans-Canada Pipeline, or Trans Mountain Expansion Project. Now, Moose is going to bring up in this video that he's doing Danielle Smith. Now, she spoke to... what is it, Legault, Premier of Quebec, about getting a pipeline there. But here's the thing. The Trans Mountain Expansion Project for a second pipeline to work in conjunction, going right out to the west coast here, it's already there. So why, and this is the big question, why, has Danielle Smith not gone to Japan and South Korea? Because they can actually transform bitumen. There's a market right there to new markets. And why isn't she doing that right off the bat? Firming up new deals with Japan and South Korea, trying to get better margins instead of getting abused by the Americans, which is really what's been going on for a long time. And you got to remember one other thing. Bitumen, which is the tar sands oil in Alberta, the cheapest you can actually convert it or get it out of the ground is at $57 US. And that's using steam. Conventional ways of mining it is going to be over $80 US. So the dollar of per barrel of oil, we're talking about West Texas Intermediate crude. That's where it falls within. So why aren't we opening up markets for Japan and South Korea? Those are markets that can handle it and need that. So what's wrong, Danielle Smith? You got things that you can do, but you choose not to do because you got it in your brain you're going to do things your way. Frank Sinatra. I did it my way. Yikes. You don't want me to do any more singing, do you? No, sirree. Now, here's another thing, too. This is an interesting thing that you got to know about Alberta.
This is Alberta's power generation mix over the last 20 years. What do you notice? What do you notice? That's a lot of gas, but there's been a huge reduction in coal. A colossal reduction in coal. Now, let's be clear. These natural gas increases, they're mostly from coal plant conversions. However, do you see where the real growth is happening here? It's wind and solar. Green energy is the heart of it, friends. And this is what's going to happen is wind and solar have rapidly outpaced.
And you'll notice how small a component hydro is here on this chart. And Alberta has gone out of their way to suppress information regarding hydroelectric power. And you have to understand another thing. In Ontario, in 2003, we had a blackout 3 days. And guess what? That was a sign to fix the grid. Ontario fixed the grid. Been no blackout since then. It's 2025 now.
All the other forms of electricity when it comes to growth around the world, not just in Canada. And so Alberta suggesting that the world is going to convert itself to liquid natural gas is ridiculous. Imagine you're China. Why would you make yourself dependent on foreign resource imports when you could just build solar panels, wind, and nuclear? Why would you do that? If India is rebuilding its power infrastructure, why would it make itself dependent on a new trading partner? Why would you import liquid natural gas to create power when you could just put out solar panels, when you could just put up wind, when you could just put up tidal, when you could just put up hydro or nuclear? Friends, what this coal reduction has led to is a huge decrease in Alberta emissions intensity for electricity. This is specifically from electricity. This is not including the oil sector. But in 2006, it peaked at grams of grams of CO2 per kilowatt hour, I think it is. It's cut in less than half since then.
And look at Ontario. Multiple times larger than Alberta. It can be done in Alberta. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. That's what Mel Lastman said. Nobody. Yikes. Okay. So where are we going to go now? Let's go here now. Oh, damn. We're too late. Too long. This is taking too long. We're not going to go there. Okay, so here we are. We're going to sign off now. Moose on the Loose. David, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for providing this illuminating topic for us to be able to pontificate further about and explain a different way of looking at things, shedding a light on a topic that may not serve the people, but now you have an alternative viewpoint that may serve you. So there you go. This is the whole point of this exercise. Love and peace to everybody. Thanks for watching. Talk to you all soon. Ciao for now.